Fabulous. So it's great to have you join us, Danny. We were just talking while we were getting everything sorted for today's live, because we've met each other quite a while ago. I think the first time was the IMDT conference, wasn't it? And with Claire was there, and Claire knows you from even before that.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while. You know, we've been, you know, as a business, we go to a lot of different events, you know, all over the country and internationally. We've literally just come back from the APDT international conference.
Oh wow, amazing! Oh, well, I look forward to hearing about that during the chat. So while Claire's putting her going live on her page, so just to do some introductions. So I'm Sarah. I am based in Reading in Berkshire, and I run Berkshire Dog Training, and I support clients from 8-week-old puppies up to adult dogs, and focusing on dogs maybe with the big emotions. I love recall training, so it is a great opportunity to you on here, Danny. And I am a predation substitute instructor, so I'm one of Simon's few instructors in the UK, and again, it's another reason why we wanted to get you on board, because both Claire and I have that passion to substitute predation because of our experiences with our own dogs and clients and how it benefits. So Claire, are you ready?
Yes. Hello, I'm Claire from Insight Hounds. So I work exclusively with sight hounds and specialise in ex-racing greyhounds. I'm based in the Midlands, but I also work with sight hounds all over the country. I'm very excited about today's guest. We have Danny from Tugenuff. Thank you so much for coming and chatting to us, Danny. If people don't know you, do you want to tell them who you are and what you do?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, thank you for inviting me to do this. It's really cool. To kind of get out there and chat to new audiences. So as you said, I'm Danny. I am one of the owners of Tugenuff. So we are I'm going to say we're a tug toy brand, but we're a lot more than that. And I'm sure we'll go into that in our chat. So Tugenuff is my mum, Teresa. She started the business back in 2009. So we're about 16 years old now. She is well, I always say mad agility competitor, but I don't mean mad as in mad. I mean mad as in she's like mad on it. She's she's serious about it. And she started the business because one of her dogs, or one of her collies that she had at the time, called Indy, just didn't want to play. So she designed a toy that you put some food in, and the idea was that Indy knew that the food was in there, so it was trying to encourage her away. She was a very foodie dog. Not encourage her away from food, but using that as a motivator to get her to start playing. And it kind of moved on from there. So we don't actually make that toy anymore. But yes, then a lot of her friends saw these things and the toys, and then we started, she started developing new products. So all of our toys have got a play element to them, and the play element is always human dog play. So it's not a toy that you would buy and just go, here you go, occupy yourself. Is definitely about it's definitely about the human canine bond and how you can play together. And we champion play a lot through a lot of different whether that's through our I might be getting ahead of myself here, so that's essentially what we do. We make tug toys, but really it's a lot more about play and championing play and just giving people the reasons why it's so important to play with your dogs.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned about that kind of relationship and connection and playing with the dog, because one of the big things that's really important to Sarah and I is I think training once upon a time was very obedience focused, and now there's a lot more about the relationship, the connection, the trust, and really that's one of the major pillars. And I know it's very important to Sarah and I love that connection is one of your and focus is one of your mottos, as well as the power of play, which is fantastic. And I work with a lot of adopted dogs, so they've had a life before us, so getting that relationship and using the toys to actually help them play is so important, and get that human connection when they've come from a kennel life or a very different life to pet life. It's really important to build those relationships.
Definitely. And it really helps them, build trust, as I kind of what you just said. So especially, you know, whether it's a new puppy or a dog that you've rescued, it's all about building that trust around being around you. I always say that play is a little bit like speaking your dog's language, because you know they can't talk to you, but you can definitely interact with them in this way that is fun and exciting for them, but more so gives you you know an insight into your dog and how and their personality.
Definitely.
And I do think it's interesting. I actually went on a course to play with your dog, because I think there's many interpretations of play, and looking at certain breeds, actually targeting how they might want to respond to the play. And one of the things I notice when I start working with clients, and I do have some props. We all have got some props, so Sarah and I will be prop ready.
Got a selection down here.
I don't know about you, Danny, and your videos are brilliant, but I often see clients like waving them high up in the air like this, rather than actually on the ground, which is obviously naturally. I mean, I do see squirrels jump occasionally, but you know, normally they're on the ground running away from the dogs. And so it's in, you know, trying to get that concept over to clients, you know, about what the toys are for and how to portray what a dog, an animal might be doing that the dog might be wanting to chase. I mean, how has that concept come about with the style of products that you've got?
So, I mean, ultimately, the majority of play is all based on that prey drive. Really, it's all things that are naturally, you know, if dogs were left to their own devices, you know, they would try and chase and kill and eat prey, wouldn't they? Really, that's essentially what they would do. So when you're kind of looking at introducing toys into your daily routine, I guess, or whatever you want to do, you know, what a lot of things that I see is very much that, either dangling it up as you just demonstrated there, or almost putting it in your dog in the dog's face and expecting them to want to play, and that's not going to spark that play drive. It's going to be those thinking of prey. So how, you know, tiny little furry things might move around, so really fast, stopping, moving a little bit faster again, then slowly creeping. So it's those types of movements that can really help spark that play drive, especially if because some dogs can be a little bit shy or reluctant to play. So it's all about thinking about how their prey would potentially move around, really. So it's kind of getting into that mindset of your dog, and also finding the things that your dog is motivated by. So a lot of times people will say to me, oh, you know, my dog will play, but only play for a minute. That's fine. You know, that's great. You want to stop the game or change the game just before they get bored of it, because you want to build value into the game of tug that you're playing, because then the dog will be much more motivated by it. And then when you if you want to use the game as as a reward for recall, example, you know, I'm sure we'll come on to that in a minute. And you know, every year we do a play survey of our customers or people in our audience, and every year since we've done it, so at least 5 or 6 years, recall is the top problem that people report. And so, you know, building value into a game that you can have a toy in your back pocket and whip it out when you're out in the park to recall your dog from a situation you don't want them getting involved in is really powerful. But you don't want them getting bored of that game.
No.
Definitely. And I think tapping into the different toys for the different dogs. So I know I've got X-Racing Greyhound and a Whippet, and so they're both sight hounds, they're both bred for that movement, but they do have their favorites. Like Izzy is much more about the chasers, my X-Racing Greyhound. My little Whippet absolutely loves the clam. He's like, let's get in and dissect. He will play with the chasers as well, but he absolutely adores them. And like you say, getting that motivation around it. We were in a secure field recently, and Izzy just took off. I was like, that's odd, where's she heading? And I realised she was heading to the bag that had the tug toys in. So they're so rewarding. It's like, I just need to go over there and find that bag, even when they're not out of sight, because she knows how exciting that play is. So, and I work with obviously sight hounds, X-Racing Greyhounds, and all of them have a slightly different style of what they like, and tapping into that can just make the world of difference. And then having those little toys, I love the variety you've got. That you've got the pocket ones that you can whip out when you need to on a walk, and then the chaser ones that you can play with in a more sort of organized way. How did you come up with all the different ideas of the different elements? Was it on feedback? Was it on what you saw in your own dogs? How did we get to such a vast variety of great toys?
I think it's a bit of both of that, really. So as I said, Mum Teresa, she was quite good at looking at what Indy was motivated by, and then adapting a toy into that. And then the kind of, all our toys have the bungee element to, or most of them, but they all do now. So that once the dog really gets into the game, you need that kind of shock absorption element to it to make it safe. But so a lot of what we've done has come from feedback from customers. So a lot of our toys are, oh, I like this, but I would like something else on it, or I would like the Powerball, the ball toys, them I'm sure we'll come on to, came about because the balls that we were using were not the best quality. So we were like, no, actually we need to find something that's much more robust and also bounces, and also it's got a lot of weight behind it for throwing the toy. And we couldn't find out this, and we just decided to design our own, and that's kind of really from customer feedback around durability. The sizes are really are something that a lot of customers will ask about, and we kind of use from our own experience. So we kind of say we've got these three sizes of products. We've got the long chaser toys, which are really great for tapping into chase drive for recall. And then the really small pocket ones are really tiny. You can pop in your pocket and just whip them out whenever you need them. So a lot of it all comes from feedback. We also run, as I mentioned before, our play survey every year. So we will get all sorts of weird and wonderful ideas. The question that we always ask, which is, if you could make any tug toy or any product toy for your dog, what would it be? And we get lots of ideas from that. And so when it comes to development, so we've recently in March this year, so at Crufts, we launched our first ever toy design for tugging and in use in water. Because we had a lot of customers complain to us that their toys would sink because the power was so good that they were too heavy and they just sank whether that's in the middle of a river or out to sea. So in fact, my dog, so we live we're down in Devon, down in Exmouth, which is by the sea. So whenever we took our dog Bob, who is a little Japanese Spitz rescue, always lose toys in the water. So actually he inspired that our Bob dummy, which we launched at Crufts this year. And we named it Bob as well.
I was going to say, is it named after Bob then?
Bob, yeah. So he named after Bob. Bob's in the water and named after Bob. But that was a real that was an example of something that we wanted for our own dog, for Bob, and then also solved the problem of people saying of the toys that would sink to the bottom of the ocean. So which isn't great for a lot of different reasons. So yeah, that's kind of it's definitely they definitely evolve from seeds into products, and you've got a couple of new things boiling at the moment. So I can't really give too much away, but they are definitely from feedback from customers for sure. Yeah. So
am I right in saying that since the launch, you've with the Bob product and toy, you've been recognised, with regards to several awards related to the particular product?
Yeah, definitely. So we did a really fun promotion campaign behind Bob. So we launched it at Crufts, as I mentioned, but we did a lot of soft promotion around it, I think. So we used we got a lot of dog influencers to try it out beforehand. We did a really fun teaser campaigns. So we did a lot of teaser photographs of it and trying to get people to guess what the new product was. And a lot of other things that we did around it. So we won the Pet Industry Federation award this last weekend, actually, I think it was, for best marketing campaign, which has been really. I'm really proud of that, because we did the launch marketing on a very limited budget, and we were up against some big players in that category. So I was really proud that the team and Bob pulled it off. So it was really cool. And before that, we were also recognised with Bob at the Pet Quip Awards for the same award. So I'm really or the same type of award. So I'm really proud of that.
It's nice to hear, isn't it, that that hard work pays off.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think when you're a small family-run business, sometimes we go into this business going, I love dogs, or I want to do this, and then suddenly you realise that you're also an accountant and a marketer and all of the other jobs that come with it. And I think you suddenly go, so to be able to sort of have this idea and inspiration and one of your products to go through that and win the awards is just fantastic, isn't it? Because you are a small business doing really big things. It's fantastic. And you've been abroad as well lately, so you're just
so we're really seeing a really nice shift in popularity of Tug Enough in the US, and we've worked with we've been to a few conferences out there. So we've just come back from the APDT International Conference, and we had some really great feedback there from dog trainers and their clients in terms of especially the quality of the toys and things like that, but also a lot of compliments around the fact that we're not just making the products and going, here you go, you know, it's over to you. It's all the training videos and games. Like, so we've got a whole library of games that we've created that are fun but also purposeful. So we kind of coined this new phrase of purposeful play. So it's like it should be fun, and it should be fun between you and your dog. It should be time that you can spend with your dog, one-on-one. But behind that, each game that we have has a training element to it, so it helps either train. So we've got a toy switch game which kind of helps teach that leave cue, really. We've got some great sort of scent games, so whether that's scent work using the clam, I think one was called hide and seek, so that's a really fun one, but it's also kind of building in that kind of scent work stuff, and loads of others. So I definitely go, you don't have to have a Tug Enough toy to have a look at those and watch those. So definitely have a look at those on our website, because there's some really fun.
We'll make sure that we put all the links there, Danny, for people to go and find access to the great videos and support tools after the session. And maybe you've been asked this a million times, but why the variety of colours?
Why the variety of colours? I'll be honest with you, the colours are really for the human benefit, I would say.
Okay.
Primarily. So a lot of it will be, it's with everything, isn't it, really? You want to have things that look nice.
Yeah. I mean, at least the orange one can be spotted when it's in the middle of the grass. I mean, that there is some practicalities to having that, because a lot of clients say, well, what colours? Dogs like blue and yellow, they can see those two colours, but you've got all these, and it only happened last night when, if anyone saw the Dachshund who took away the biggest tug toy they could find. But, I think, it's an interesting question about, the dog's attractiveness to something as well.
Definitely. And I think, as we all, maybe we don't all know, but, they see on this blue yellow spectrum. But I always say to people that it's not that they can't see something that isn't in one of those colors. It's just that they're not going to see it the same way that we see it. But, we try to incorporate blue or yellow into most of our products, just to kind of get that visibility element into it. But, we all know that dogs I keep saying we all know, maybe we don't all know, but it's, the dogs have this amazing these amazing scent receptors. So actually, once they've played with that toy once or twice, they're going to know where it is because of the way that it smells, rather than maybe not so much the way that it looks.
Hence Izzy running off down a long way down a secure field to a bag, sealed bag with the toys in.
Exactly, and I think that we sometimes underestimate that superpower, I suppose, that they've got.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's such an important one. That's one of the things I love about what you've done as well. You've created these incredible toys, but then you've got so many pro partners who are like professional dog trainers that you work very closely with and gain feedback from and talk to, and then, like you say, the customers. And there's lots of booklets. I've been listening to your podcast the last few days, or I've listened to it before, but I was recapping on some of them, and yeah, you've got so many resources out there that you just give away to people to kind of help them have better relationships with their dogs. And it feels like it's a very two-way. You're always listening for feedback. What can we do better? Where can we go next? What's working? What isn't? Let's adapt, and putting things out for the partners, for the customers, to help that relationship really grow. It's a fantastic model.
Yeah, and I think the reason we do that is because we know we want to set people up for success. You know, what we don't want to happen is people to buy a Tug Enough toy and not necessarily know the best way to use it and have a bad experience because of what we're simulating with them. Really is that prey element. So what we don't want to do is set people up. We do want to set people up for success. So give them all the help and advice before, during, and after that purchase, or the way that or how they navigate on our website. So, you know, making sure that they're all used for supervised play, and they're all, you know, when you finish the game, that you end it on a positive. So, you know, whether that's swapping it for a treat or another a toy that they can have and chew, or a filled Kong or something like that. So there's small things that really help set people up for success with the Tug Enough toys. Really important to me. And again, that's why we work with professional trainers, is because you can have those conversations with people one-on-one and kind of help them find the right toy to match their dog, match their dog play style that they've been bred for. That being said, we do also have a free quiz on our website, so you can answer a few questions about your dog, and we kind of do a little bit of generalization in the background of what we think is going to be suitable for you and your dog. And we narrow it down to a few toys for you to choose from.
Yeah, I must admit, you've restructured the partner scheme, and you know that it was great, because actually there was some real, you know, responsibility from our side, and huge, you know, thank you, because you did send me some additional toys that I hadn't actually purchased myself. So there were a couple that I was missing from my repertoire, and what is lovely as a pro partner is to be able to have that suite of toys to show the clients how they can work and use them in training, and get them to try before they buy, you know, and so that they have confidence to use them. And I appreciate we're very lucky that, you know, we do those face-to-face relationships, and how Claire and I work in a lot of ways, but you know, it's having that online resource definitely helps. But, you know, getting to touch and feel, you know, I was working with a little cockapoo last year, Nelly, and oh my God, I mean, all the fur, it was these ones, the really soft fur, oh my God, and the squeak. I mean, I don't allow squeaks in any group activities, just for fear of causing mayhem. But on a one-to-one, that's fair game. So
yeah, indeed. Yeah, and I think, you know, it's really important to us that, or to me, that we want to partner with people that, and again, it's setting people up for success. So when we partner with a pet professional or a dog trainer, you know, we want to give them the tools to be able to succeed. You know, and we're always evolving that. So, you know, we've recently just started we talked a little bit before we jumped on live, our kind of training sessions for dog trainers, and they're not around dog training, they're around all the other bits and pieces that go into running a business that is really useful, I think. Well, I hope it's really useful.
Yeah,
It is.
no, definitely. And obviously we're all part of the Dog Trainer School, you know, partnership as well, and we've just had the opportunity, and some people might have seen some crazy videos of us going promoting some of the toys, etc., for you know, for socials. But you know, it's lovely to be able to, again, another connection, Danny, that you know, but to build on from our perspective, to know that we are recommending good quality products with the relationship we have with you. And it's, you know, we've now got the Dog Trainer School Standard, which has just been launched today, funnily enough.
This is, I've had some of the information, but I've not had a chance to read it yet, so I'm really really excited about it. And you know what, being, you know, having our product, whether it's Bob being recognized with the Pet Industry Federation for, you know, what we did there, or the Dog Trainer School, and all of the trainers, they're testing out the product and giving it the seal of approval, the fantastic Powerball bungee. That's, you know, it really makes me proud of what we've done. You know, we've also done, you know, had some of our products approved by CAD, so Kids Around Dogs. So all these things, and it actually builds trust. So, you know, there's a lot of cynicism out there when you're looking at buying products, if that makes sense. Yeah. So actually having those seals of approval, with somebody else saying that the products are as good as we said, or are useful for you know, XYZ behavior. It's really great, and I like working with you know, I've built the business quite a lot on collaborations, and it's something that's really key to me, is that we help each other out, because you know,
couldn't agree more. It's so important. I think when you really just love the dogs, we're all about the more people, and we're all a single cog in the works, so the more we can work with other cogs, we've all got slightly different skill sets and different ways we can help and assist, so the more we can all do that together and shout about the connection, the relationships, the helping the dog is absolutely key. I bet you come across plenty of myths that we do around play. Do you have a favorite myth that you would?
I think there's a couple, really. So there's play causes aggression, and you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a professional dog trainer. I kind of have stumbled into this, really. I've learned a lot over the 12 years I've been involved in the business personally. You know, that's one of the things that I hear quite a bit, which, you know, is just well, I'm just going to say it's just not true, to be honest. You know, and you guys are going to be much more set up to answer the question why, but that's definitely one that I hear a lot. And you know, I don't want to chase. I don't want to teach my dog to chase. That is something I hear a lot. And you know, my answer to that is, if your dog is going to chase, your dog is going to chase. You best not harnessing it, and using a toy or a game that actually allows them that outlet.
So important. I think we've all come across that a few times, and Sarah's our predation substitute specialist. I mean, you're the perfect person to answer. I mean, you know, if they get some of these toys that look, you know, it looks a bit like a squirrel tail, let's run it around, and that's going to make them want to chase it more or anything like that. It's well,
the thing is, you know, and maybe this will help you, Danny, is that, you know, it really is an old school theory that chasing is a problem, right? It is genetically installed in our dogs, okay, and it is a behavior that people want to change, but actually it's really hard to, because it's part of their DNA. It's their natural physics of how they live and do and respond to things. And you know, if you try and stop them doing that, actually what I've found personally is you have a dog that therefore finds alternative things, and therefore behavior challenges come out through that side of things, because they haven't got their natural needs fulfilled. And so having those dogs to you know, because you don't teach predation, you don't teach them to chase necessarily, it is just that gut response, that immediate initial instinct that they respond to. And so what my I'm sure Claire will back me up on this, is that, through learned experiences with great toys like yourself, actually you then refocus the dog on having a positive outlet, understanding that they can fulfill those needs no matter what it is, and whether it is using the clam to fulfill that whole circle and that ladder of predation. And did you know that the husky is the only breed of dog that has that full level of predation ladder? Factoid there from Simone herself. But yeah, it's about really tapping into those instincts and understanding that. And if clients then fulfill those needs, then the dog's just going to hang around more because they don't need to therefore go and chase. So that's how it benefits recall. That's how it benefits the dog's, trust and relationship with the dog, because of all those elements. It doesn't definitely encourage the dog to chase, randomly. Having them off the lead with no control, definitely. Allowing them to make their choices themselves definitely allows them to make the choice to chase, but not actually if we've got them engaged with us.
And it's great. It's great, and it's a good thing. It almost sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it, really, to go let your dog.
And I think that's why people struggle with it. They're like, why? No, you say to me all the time, keep practicing this and it will get better. And now you're telling me to go and practice chase. And you're telling me it won't make it. Yeah, it's so counterintuitive to people, and you can understand it.
I think that explaining it in a way of your dog's going to probably do it anyway, so giving them the outlet to do it is I think that I can't remember who we spoke, what we did this for, but we coined this kind of phrase of, dogs often present behaviors that we find problematic but are not necessarily problematic. They're just problematic the way that we live our lives as humans. But we need to look at how we can fulfill the needs of your dog. Solo
hunting is definitely not a thing that we should be focusing on. It's hunting together, to coin one of Simone's books, but it's really important in that sense. So that's brilliant. And
just while we're on, I'm conscious we keep talking about the clam and people might not know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I love the clam.
We've got two varieties, Danny. I mean, how good are we as pros?
That bungee one, definitely. That's right. The clam is, again, it's another thing that Mum, it's designed off a very similar product, but we thought we could do it better, and I think we did. We've made it one opener. Opens in one go rather than several. But it's another thing that Mum or Teresa made for agility. So it's all about rewarding a distance. How you could, if you're teaching a sequence of jumps or weaves or whatever, that you can't necessarily be with your dog at the end when you want to reward them, by being able to put a couple of treats in that clam, close it up and throw it, and teach your dog to get the treats out themselves, then that's essentially what it was initially designed for. But it's taken on a life of its own. So I know people that use it for hide and seek games, for scent work games. People will also use it to teach a retrieve, which is interesting because they get the dog to bring it back to them, and then they give them the treat from within the clam. But it's definitely one of our top sellers. Basically, we sell them. Lots of people have them. Let's put it that way. So they're definitely one of our top sellers.
Yeah, especially for those terriers and dissection, I'd say.
Yes, definitely. So you mentioned that you'd done your play feedback recently. Anything interesting coming out of that? Because there's lots of science to say how important play with human contact is, isn't it? And I imagine your survey is it's not. There's lots of science out there to say how beneficial play is, and I imagine this is kind of like an informal version of that, which gives you feedback on how people are playing and how they're using the toys and how they're making those relationships different.
Yeah, so we do it every year, and we do see fluctuations and changes in the way that people answer the questions. But what we're definitely seeing is that about 80 up to 90%, 1% off of 90, say that the play and play specifically with the Tug Enough toys has deepened their bond. So they feel that by playing, it's kind of enriched that relationship with their dog, definitely. And then, you know, a couple of other things that have come out of it is, you know, the things that people are finding, why people buy toys. So people are buying toys initially to burn energy and then boost boredom, or bust boredom, I should say.
Boost boredom.
Bust boredom, yeah. So I mean, I've got a report that
Boredom
not
buster,
really
isn't it?
but yeah, it's definitely, you know, the thing. And, you know, you know, there's a lot of things that have that, you know, that we've taken from it that we're now going to use to how we can make more resources for people. So that's free resources for people, whether that's
brilliant
podcast episodes, you know, dealing with the issues that people have brought up. I mean, you know, the things that people are saying that they're finding difficult, and you guys are gonna you're gonna probably know these top 3 things without me saying them. But recall's number 1. We already mentioned that. And these are the common behavioral problems. And again, some of these things are behavioral problems that we're finding problematic, not necessarily that is a bad thing. Things that we're finding problematic. So loose lead walking is another thing that people are finding. You know, that's the second down there. And then it's interesting that reactivity is third. And I think that's
say word reactivity on. Yeah.
Such a it's such an emotive word, I think, really, that, because that really presents themselves in a lot of different ways.
I like to use the expression emotions.
Yeah,
definitely.
The way that people interpret that is it can be problematic, really, to be honest. So I've got one of my dogs, Tiddly, he used to be quite reactive to different situations, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough to have a dog. You know, we all get a dog thinking it's going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be by my side all the time. We're going to have all these great walks and all these great trips to the pub and all those types of things. And sometimes it doesn't end up that way. And
have you been reading my client intake forms, Danny? I don't know what it says about the clients in Berkshire, but pub and cafes are definitely high on the list.
Yeah. I mean, I you know, I'll be honest, I wasn't able to do that for a long time. But you know, we work on these things. And you work with the dog you've got.
Yeah, no, 100%. And so, I mean, dare I say it, the C word's about to come out. Christmas is not far off, is it? Yes. So, you know, what do you think is going to be the best seller coming up to Christmas? Or do you have any inkling, or is there any sort of things you want to share about, any sort of, you know, we can share with our clients coming before Christmas to keep an eye out for?
Definitely. I thought you were going to say the other C word, crafts, but
that's March next year.
That's the world.
We'll see you there next year, Danny. So Claire and I are there on Thursday, so we're all sorted.
I think that so a couple of things we're doing this year. So number 1, we've built these gift boxes. So we've put together 3 toys, all again around those, I don't want to say problems, but you know, around those things that people mentioned. So recall is one of them. So there's a chaser and a pocket toy in there. We've got a puppy playtime box as well, and a fetch fanatics box. So one of the things that we really thought, you know, when we've been trying to get, you know, appeal to a wider market than just the dog sports, and which there's nothing wrong, you know, we definitely still want those customers, but how we can use play in a lot of these other aspects. Fetch is a game that's synonymous with dogs, isn't it, really, you know? But actually it's when you think about it, you're always throwing the fun away and you're never having the fun around you. It's always about where the ball lands and then bringing it back. So, you know, we've kind of tried to create a game around our Powerball toys that actually, when the dog brings the toy back to you, you can still throw it. It's got the weight behind it. When the dog brings it back to you, you can have a game of tug. So actually, it becomes the fun in that game is bringing it back to you, not waiting for it to be thrown again. So so we've got a Fetch Fanatics box. I always go off on tangent, so
it's interesting.
Yeah, indeed. So those have been curated, and you get a guide alongside it as well for some of the games that we've that we've got on our website, you know, and that. So those are great gifts, definitely. So, and then we've got our annual Black Friday offer, which launches on Friday actually. So at the moment, if you head to the website, you can sign up for early access, but on Friday it launches. So it's 3 for 2 across all our products, including those gift boxes. So once it goes live, the gift boxes will have that 3 for 2 offer enabled on them. So, you know, it's a great time to stock up on Tug Enough toys if you want to. You know, that runs right through to the end of November. So it's the best offer that we run all year round.
And you know, we're very grateful because you offer us a discount code that our clients can benefit from. So Claire and I will make sure that's shared, you know, across our socials, that people can benefit from that additional discount, as well as, because it still applies to the 3 for 2. It's just a cracking offer. It really is.
Yeah, and if we go via our links, they are affiliated, but if you haven't realised already, we are big fans of the toys. We're not promoting something going, is it, you know, and we both genuinely use them with our dogs, we use them with clients, and when we apps customers, we absolutely love them and have been a fan for a long time. So having you here, Danny, is just be able to chat to you in more detail about it all is such a pleasure. It's a real moment. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good. I always like chatting about Tug Enough and play and all those kind of things. So yeah, I'm really happy to have had this chat with you guys and your audiences.
Yeah,
no problem.
So
we've had one question. Well, we've just had one share from Steph, Claire. So just saying, do you want to cover it?
One of her greyhounds loves to play with the sheepskin one, and Shadow, her other greyhound, is a big one of the food pocket, and they both love the clams.
Awesome.
There was a second sheepskin one that she wasn't as clean with, but she very kindly gave it to me to when I do like the testing with the dogs to see what toys they like. We've got it in our little demo box so people can try it out now, which was
awesome.
Kind of her.
Awesome.
So but yeah, they're both, I get lots of videos of them playing with the clams and the various toys, so they're a big
we you know, and you know, we love seeing videos of our customers playing with the toys. You know, it makes my day, really, to be honest. It's nice to see, and what I love is the fact that people just do it, just not being asked. They just send it to us. They're just proud of, you know, it's great. I love it. It's really
they're getting a dopamine hit as well as the dogs, aren't they, when they see that joy, and it's that serotonin connection and stuff, isn't it? So
do you have a favorite toy, Danny?
Do I have a favorite toy?
Do you have a favorite one out of your whole collection? Is there something that really jumps out to you?
But my favorite that I like to play with I mean, obviously Bob is, I'm really proud of Bob, but
it's got to be as it is.
Yeah, my favorite probably is the Squeaky Chaser. I think that's a really nice all-rounder. It's a really great toy for.
You just want me to demo again, don't you?
There you go. Yeah. Because it's such a great all-rounder, and you know, it's got that squeak in it, you know, and it's great for small dogs. You know, there we go. It's great for small dogs because you can play at their level. And I've got small dogs, so both of my dogs, both of our dogs, are small. They're both under 7 kilos, so they're and also,
well, hopefully anyone watching back, I just haven't caused chaos with all the squeakies going on. Hopefully it was quiet enough. Just suddenly think, oh my god, just created chaos.
Yes, that's definitely my favorite toy, and I love recommending that one to people because you can use it for so many different things. You know that you can use it up close by holding the handle a little bit closer towards the bite area. It's great for dogs that feel a little bit nervous as well, or intimidated playing with you, because you can have a bit of distance. And also it's fantastic for kids to play and interact with dogs.
And I would say with puppies, the nice long lines with puppies, you know, so you're not getting too close to the hand in those shark teeth that we'd have to refer to. So, you know, all those really help, etc. So just fab. Is there anything we haven't covered, Danny, in our little chat today?
I think you know, there's probably loads more we could talk about for sure, but I think that we've covered, you know, the main things that we're about, and the main questions that people might have, you know, around, especially around those myths, because that's really
that's great. And Danny, if people don't know, so they know where to go on the website, we've talked about the toys on there and the videos. If they want to know more about your podcast,
Yeah. So
Cool.
it's Positive Playtime. So just search Positive Playtime podcast and it should come up. There's been two series of it. We're planning another one in the new year. So hopefully we'll be back with more. But yeah, we talk all about play, and we tried to take it from a different angle each episode. So, you know, we've had an episode where we talked to Debbie Lucken from Kids Around Dogs. So it's really cool. Really, yeah. And then we did a really nice episode with Jamie and Gemma Pond from
Dogs. Yeah.
UK Snippet, which is really interesting. I learned so much on that one. So it's a real good. And that's the other thing I love learning about all the different things I don't know. So actually, it's really cool to do that. Yeah. So yeah, definitely search Positive Playtime podcast, and you should find it.
We'll make sure all those links are there so people can find them. And just thanks, Danny. Honestly,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. And
we will see you at an event very soon.
Yeah, if it's Crufts, it will be Crufts, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the next one. Brilliant. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.